This is chapter 4, the selection structure. Talks about our different structures we'll use. And this is all in the book, so I'm not going to go. I'm going to skip down to the interesting part. Here's the if then else statement. So let's take a look at that. Over in Visual Studio, I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going it to be a Windows Forms app. And click Next. And I'm going to have this as my grade calculation. Click Create. You want to give them some kind of meaningful names to match your projects and so forth, so you can easily find it. If you upload the wrong file and I say I contact you, or you see a 0 on it with a note on it saying, "Hey, you just uploaded the one file. You need to upload all of them." Then you can go back and find it. Okay, I'm going to bring in 3 test grades. So I need my toolbox. So click my toolbox here. If you don't see your toolbox, again, you go up to either the view or windows. I never remember which. I think it's view. And here's toolbox right here. Or you can press Control Alt X. Okay, so I want to put on a I'm looking for a label. L. There you go. Got a label there. I'm gonna have a text box. Another label. Another text box. Another label. Another text box. Okay, what I'm going to program here is I'm going to have them input 3 grades, 3 test scores, and I want to figure out the average and print off whether they got an A, B, C, D, or F. Okay, so do a button. And then another label here. And another label right here. Make these a little bit bigger so I can see them. I'm clicking down here with my left mouse button and dragging, and I'm drawing a rectangle around them. I know you can't hardly see that. It selects all of them. Then it'll bring up the properties that are just specific to all 4. So it's a reduced version of that. I'm hoping text or the font is there. It is. Change these to 15. Okay, that's not bad. If I rectangular select, click on this where my mouse is right now, my left mouse button, hold down and drag, and have those selected. These are some tools to align items. See, this one says align left. So if I click align left, that aligns them left. Align centers, align rights. See how I don't have them all the same size? So when I align right, it aligns them on the right-hand side. I want to align left, so I'll choose align lefts. I also want them to be the same width, and they're not. Well, over here, now that I got all 3 selected, you see how the size is 15? That refers to our font. And the question is whether 15 is big enough for what I'm going to put in here. And it is, since we're dealing with numbers, but that's something you should ask yourself on every problem. Now, if we go down to our size, Here's size. Size is blank, doesn't expand. And we said 15 is probably right. Property value is size. Wouldn't that be 15? Cancel that. It does expand. It just wouldn't let me expand it for some reason. Let me select them all again. How bizarre. Okay, well, I'll just do it the hard way. There is a way to use these to make them the same size. I really don't use this very much. Make same size. Okay, now they're all the same size. That's bizarre. It would not show me the size or the expand this. Okay, now these. Gonna rectangular select those. I want to left align them. There we go. This one I can manually move, and when I move it, I see the lines pop up, so that's good. And this one I can move. So it's bottom aligned with that label 4, and it's left aligned with the text boxes up there. Okay, now I want these to say something. Num1, test 1, not num1. Test 2. Test 3. And this button 1, I want to say calculate. This one I want to say grade. And this label 5, I don't want to say anything. So delete that text and press enter. Makes it real small, but that's okay. Keep it in mind, I remember it's label 5. Now I want to name these. Since I'm going to put something program-wise back into label, I'm going to name this like LB underscore grade. I'm going to retrieve from these text boxes here. So TB underscore num1. This one will be TB underscore num2. And this one will be TB underscore num3. Now, I'm not going to programmatically pull anything from test 1, test 2, and test 3, so I don't have to give those names. I'm not going to programmatically pull anything from calculate, but if I have 10 buttons on my form, it's nice to know which one's which. So I'm going to name this BTN calculate average for my name. Don't put any spaces in these, even if it allows you to. I think it's bad programming practice. My form 1, I want it to have a title, so it's caption, wherever caption's at. Caption or text? Text, not caption. And this will be grade calculation. There we go. Now I'm going to double click calculate here. This creates a subroutine called button calculate average. Now I'm going to declare some variables. N1, N2, and N3 for number 1, number 2, and number 3. I'm also going to create one called average. So I'm going to calculate the average, and I'll make these all double. And let's see if I remember. Is it parse or try parse? Can't remember. I'll try parse first. And I'm going to pull in my first number. So it'll be TB underscore num1 dot text. I chose correctly. Double dot parse. This can give me an error. TB nums2 dot text. And N3 is equal to double dot parse TB underscore num3 dot text. Okay, so now I've just declared those variable names. I brought in the values from TB underscore num1, num2, num3 dot text. I did double dot parse to convert them to a double, and now I just assigned them to those variables. Now average is going to equal to N1 plus N2 plus N3 divided by 3. Notice the use of the parentheses. That's to make sure that they add before I divide by 3. Now I'm going to check. This is your if. This is your selection structure. If average is greater than or equal to 90, that means I got an A. So LB underscore what I call it grade dot text is going to equal to an A. And I'll talk about how this works after I get done writing it. Else, if average is equal to 80, then LB underscore grade dot text is equal to B. Else, if average is greater than or equal to 70, then LB underscore grade dot text is equal to C. Else, if average is greater than or equal to 60, then LB underscore grade dot text is going to equal to D. Else, LB underscore grade dot text is going to equal to F. Okay, now let's run this. Let's make sure that it runs. And I need to calculate it. Obviously, I need to make my button bigger. Okay, if I put 70, 80, 90 in there, that should give me an average of 80. So pick numbers you can actually test. Gives me a B. 20, 10, 5. 35 divided by 3 is like 10% something. Somewhere in that range, 12%, I don't know, 11%. It's an F, so it's working. Okay, now let's talk about how the code works here. We already talked about how it brings that in and calculates the average. Let's say my average is 80. Comes down to this first part of the if-else structure. It says, okay, is average greater than or equal to 90? It's not. Average is 80. So it skips that, comes down to the next one, does this check. And it says, okay, is average greater than or equal to 80? Yeah, it's equal to 80. So then it sets the LB underscore grade dot text equals B. And since we met one of the conditions here, it comes down to the end right here and continues running. But there isn't any more code. Let's say your average was a 20. Comes down here, it says, okay, is it greater than or equal to 90? No, it isn't, it's 20. Comes down here, it says, okay, is it greater than or equal to 80? It's not, it's 20. Comes down here, it says, hey, is it greater than or equal to 70? It's not, it's 20. And it comes down here and says, okay, is it greater than or equal to 60? It's not, it's 20. So then if none of the above is true, it comes down and does this else. And that's what sets it to an F. And after it gets done running that, it comes down and drops out of the end if after the end if and starts running the code there. Okay, so that shows you the structure of that. I want to show you some debugging. As you start having problems, it's nice to know what you're doing wrong. Okay, so I run my program, it doesn't work. I'm wondering what in the world's going on. Over here in this gray area, you can click and it puts something called a breakpoint. And if you do the drop down next to the start here, you see it's just, oh, that's curious. I thought there'd be another one there. Up here, if you choose debug, you see there's a start debugging and start without debugging. We always want to do start debugging, especially if you got breakpoints. Start without debugging is nice in console mode because it will stay on the screen after it prints results. Okay, start debugging. Okay, I put 20 in here, 10, and they got 100 in the last test. Click calculate. I'm trying to understand what it's doing. Down here, you'll see that it puts the variables we got declared and the values of them. You see there's a little arrow there where I can expand that. But it's curious. I thought it would show TB num too. It doesn't because we haven't got there yet. But it's showing you the value in TB underscore num1, which is 20, and the dot text is a 20. So if I go through this line of code, there's right up here. You see where my mouse is. See where the green and red bar is. Right below that is a little square with an arrow going into it. That says step into. What that means is run that line of code, go to the next one. Automatic step over. Do you want to be notified? No. I think that's 101. Maybe I clicked the wrong one. Show next statement. Step into. Step over is this one. Step into. Now you see N2 is equal to 10. And N1, I think, is somewhere down here. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't use that very much to try and demonstrate it. What I use, mainly this is too small for me to see in the first place, plus it bounces around like that, is if you put your mouse over the variable. See how it says 20? This one now says 10. That's what I use. I never go down here and use these. Maybe nobody else does either. That's why. N3 is 100. And again, this is still 10. 20. So 20 plus 10 is 30. Plus 100 should be 130. Do the next line. Comes down here as the average. Tells me my average is 63.33. That doesn't make any sense. 20 plus 10 is 30. Plus 100 is 130. 130 divided by 3. I'm not sure what it is, but it's not 60. It's more like 40, 45 or something like that. That tells me that my issue is right here in this line. So you've narrowed it down to exactly where your problem is, assuming you can do it by hand. Now when I come down here, you can see it. It's checking, okay, this average is 63 something. Is that greater than or equal to 90? No, it's not. Comes down here. Average is 63. Is that greater than or equal to 80? No, it is not. Comes down here. Is it greater than or equal to 70? No. Comes down here. It is greater than or equal to 60, so it should do this line of code right here. Now, if I do the next line, then my LB underscore grade should now be equal to D. Now, once you get tired of going through it line by line, you can continue by pressing this continue button. And you see it put a D there. So that's debugging. Very nice feature. You're not limited to one breakpoint. I put a breakpoint here. Maybe my next breakpoint I want to put down somewhere here. And it's going to make me put it on some kind of code that actually can run. Wait a minute. Got to spew over into gray. Okay. What does this do? Well, let's start debugging again. I'm going to put 10, 20, 100, 130 divided by 3. Don't go my calculator, but I think it's 40 something, 42, 43 something. Anyway, click calculate. I'm now sitting on this line of code here. If I press my continue, it'll go down to this next breakpoint. Now, if I scroll up, let's see what my average is. My average over there, 43.33. That seems very reasonable. If I put my mouse over grade, LB underscore grade tells me it's at an F. That seems reasonable based on the average. Now, you can freely put breakpoints in during runtime. You can take them out. So if I'm sitting up here at the top and I decide, I want a breakpoint right here, such I can see what's going on, then you can put it. Or you can clear them all and just continue, but that's breakpoints. Sometimes people give me their code and say, well, what am I doing wrong here? Debug it. Now that we've learned a little bit of programming, you're going to find that debugging will help you decipher what in the world's going on with your program. Okay. Now I want to save this. So I click two little diskettes here. And you never want to do a save as, by the way. There's another way to copy your project. And I'm gonna show you how to zip this up. Somebody had a question on that, so just to make sure everybody knows how to do it. It's handy to do the save as to see where in the world you saved it at. So if you do a save form1.db as, or whatever your name of your form is, this will show you where it's stored at. So it looks like David Hayes repository, source repository, grade calculation, so forth. Okay. You need to have it closed in order to zip it up. So I do a file, close solution. Come over here. I think that's under documents. Maybe. Maybe not. If I go to C drive, I go to users, go to David Hayes. I think it was a repository or something. Source, repository. Here is the main folder. Now you don't want to go into it. This is why having a nice name is critical. I'm real bad about just leaving them as default names, and pretty soon I'll have Windows Form App 50 out there, and I won't know what's in any of them. I know what's in grade calculation. Now at this main folder here, you just right-click on it, and we want to. This may not be the same on yours, so keep that in mind. But we want to zip this up, so we want to send it to a compressed folder. Send to compressed zip folder. When that gets done, you just simply press enter, and that saves that name, grade calculation.zip, and that's what you'd upload. This may be different based upon your computer. One person last night had 7-zip, and so on theirs they had to right click on whatever and say send to 7-zip. Now let's say I want to create a copy of this so I can modify it. I don't want to change the original. Like I said, in Visual Studio, never do a save as. Easy way to do it, not to mess it up, is over here. If you right click on the folder, if I can get it to right click to work, there it goes. Choose copy, come down here in the white area, right click and choose paste. It'll give it a different name. Now if I right click on this and rename, I'll call it new grades and press enter. Now if I come over here, you see there's an open project or solution. I'll click that. I'm under repository still, and I see I got new grades here now. Double click that. And you may not have the extension on the end here, but there'll be one eventually if you drill down that says Visual Studio Solution. That's one you want to double click on. This will bring up your entire project. So that's how you zip up a project in order to upload to Blackboard. That's also how you can make a copy of it. Hopefully I don't fall asleep here. Quit drinking caffeine today. Somewhere in here is the capability of cloning a project. See if I can find it. That didn't work. Oh, here it is. That's not what I wanted. Um, Let's see it. Oh well. Like I say, I just go and copy it like you just saw. Mainly because I tend not to think when I'm doing this. Like I'll automatically do a save as, and I'm thinking that I'm saving it as a different name. Well, you're saving as a different name, but just that one source code. So the rest of your project is still pointing to the old directory. So never do that. Here's your comparison operators. You can use an if. Equals, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to. They give you some examples. Excuse me. Here's logical operators in Visual Basic. Not, and also, or else, XOR. So instead of programming it this way, you could have said if average is greater than or equal to 90 and average is less than or equal to 100, LB underscore grade text is equal to A. Else if average is greater than or equal to 80 and average is less than or equal to 80 maybe less than 90, because then it handles decimals for me. If I got 89.999999, that handles it. LB underscore grade dot text equals to B, and so on. Well, you give me an error on that. So different ways you can implement it. Kind of the same way you think of an if-else in real life. That's how you would program it. Hey, David, when am I going to get a B? You're going to get a B when your grade is between 80 and 89. Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to round on if it's 89.9? It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess your grade is going to be a B if it's greater than or equal to 80 and less than 90. Same conversations you hear in classrooms across the country all the time. That's the same way you might decide to implement it. And this book will talk about the details on this. I don't want to go into that. String comparisons. Tells you can use the two upper, two lower. And let me come up with an example of this. And it's gonna we're gonna work with strings, a little bit of a few other techniques, because I want to demonstrate this concept without just recreating that. You can read that in the book. Okay, I'm a closed solution. Save that, I guess. Don't remember changing anything. Create a new project. Choose a Windows Form app. Next. And the special day. And I need my toolbox. A label on here, text box, label, text box, label, text box, button, and then I'm gonna have a text box for the or label for the results. Sorry. Actually, I need another label. That's for my title, my results. Okay, now notice that these text boxes are all different widths. We'll handle that. But I select everything. I'm gonna come over here and change the font. I think if I expand to 15. I'm gonna rectangular select these here, move them to the side. If you got the multiple ones selected, you can move them all at once. I want to make them the same width. So I'd say make same size. I want to left align them. There we go. These right here. I'm going to select those three. I want to left align them. And what if I select all of these? If it'll let me top align them without screwing it up. Align tops. Not a chance. What's this one? Make same height. Might be. That isn't what I wanted. I wanted to align the tops. So if I grab this, there you go. Grab this, move it around till the lines appear. There we go. Line this up so the tops appear. button I want to make bigger, so I click it. Grab one of these white squares in the corner. Move this one down a little bit. Move this one over. Okay. This one's going to be called TB underscore. And now, why I got 3 text boxes is the goal of this. I'm going to bring in the month, day, and year. So TB underscore month, TB underscore day, and TB underscore year. And label these appropriately. Text, there it is. Month, day, year. And I'm going to click this and change its text to check it. And change label 4 to result, say result. This one, I'm going to put something in it, so I'm going to give it a name. It's going to be called LB underscore result. And I'm going to retrieve these, so I'm going to call them TB underscore. Oh, I already did. Never mind. My form 1, I want its text to say my special day. Now I'm ready to put code in there. So I'm going to double click check it. Put 2 slashes in there for comments. And okay, line idea. Put a single quote in there for comments. It's C# or Java. My special day is 3/12/2000 for whatever reason. Okay, so I'm going to have a dim mo for month. Actually, just to spell out month. It'll tell me it's a reserved word. Day, year as string. Now I also want one for the formatted date, so let me do F date. Okay, so I need to retrieve those. Month is equal to TB underscore month dot text. Since it's a string, I don't have to do any kind of conversion. I just put it directly into there. TB underscore day dot text. And year is equal to TB underscore year dot. TB underscore year dot text. Okay, so my formatted date is going to equal to my day plus, it's going to equal my month plus my day plus my year. Now I'll come back to check that here in a minute, but let's run it. 3/12/2019. Okay, no errors. Of course, it'd help if I print out the result. LP underscore result. That text is equal to F date. There we go. Now let's run it. 3/19/2019. Okay. That's not bad. What happens if I put a space here? Didn't like that. How if I put 5 spaces? 2, 3, 4, 5. That's no good. What I want to do is I want to trim off those spaces at the end. So how in the world do I trim those off? I'm going to do this in a separate line. This is a string, so if I do month dot trim, this will trim leading and trailing spaces. I don't think I need to set that back to anything. I think that'll work that way. Day dot trim and year dot trim. That's what they're talking about here. See the trim feature? You can also change something to upper by doing to upper. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense here, but I could change something to the to upper using that. How would you do that? You just go out to after the trim here, do a dot, and then do to upper. That would trim it, trim spaces. It also get rid of or change everything to uppercase. I just have numbers, so it doesn't make any sense. I also noticed that I didn't have slashes for my year or for my dates. All right. That's easy. I can put them there. Now let's run this. 3/19/2019. Click check it. Okay, that's looking good. How about if I put a bunch of spaces after the 3? Click check it. That doesn't look good, which means I was wrong. When I trim it, I need to set it back to day. So day is equal to day.trim. Month is going to equal to month.trim. And year equals year.trim. Okay, let's see if this is better. 3/19/2019. Click check it. Put a bunch of spaces after the 3. Put a bunch of spaces after 19. Still looks good. Okay, now that I got that formatted and created and so forth, I want to do a check here. I want to see if it's my favorite day. Well, if I just try to do an F date equals 3/12/2000, then LB underscore result dot text is equal to my favorite day. Else LB underscore result dot text. Not my favorite day. Okay, I got a problem. Up here, it's oh, what away. Okay, so let's run this. Usually when I get a red squiggly, I figure there's some kind of issue. 3/19/2019. It gives me that, which I don't want. So I need to get rid of this line of code right here. Run it. 3/19/2019. Unsmiley face. Okay, my favorite day of the year, say 3/12/2000. So I'll put that in. Click check it. My favorite day. Okay. So that shows you how you can use that, the trim to get rid of spaces. Didn't show you an example that used the two upper, but we'll grab a drink here and stand up for a minute. Having some stomach issues, that's why I gave up pop. But it's hitting me now. Okay, this talks more about the string comparisons, and you can sit there and read that and so forth. You can have nested if-else. We'll talk about that. Multiple alternative selection structures. Okay. Now here's a select case. I know that's kind of small. You can read it in the book. See, I don't like case statements. I know what they are. I can program them. I just don't like them. Pretty much, you usually don't have anything more complex enough where you need to use a case statement. A case statement is kind of a condensed version of an if-else structure, such that let's say you have 50 selections you want to do. Instead of having those 50, if this, then this, else if this, then this, else if this, then this. Instead of having all that, you can use a condensed version of it. Well, 13 years of programming, the only time I ever had to use a case statement was one time. And I decided that time I think I need to use a case statement. Made it easier. It was a barcode application I wrote for the production floor. And they were supposed to go up to the reader and scan in their barcodes. And each barcode would have a different item on the front of it, .wo. The reason why, they didn't want somebody going up with their water bottle here and scanning this barcode as a work order. So if it started with .wo, then they could force it to, if they came up and scanned it, they could force it to validate whether it's a valid one. They were worried people would come up in the middle of the night to start shooting barcodes right and left and so forth. I don't know if they're right or not, but maybe they did. It wasn't their night. That was the one and only time I used a case statement in the real world. Okay. I'm not going to sit there and go through all that. Really good information there. Definitely recommend you read it. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is this chapter. It says create a Windows form application. Use the following names for project and solution. State capitals project and state capitals solution. Save the application in this folder. They're pretty picky about all that. Change the form's file name to mainform.vb. I'm not going to go through all that, but I am going to start a new project. And I want it to be a Windows Form application again, this one here. Click Next. And what in the world is this doing? State capitals. So state capitals. Something I can spell. Capitals. Click Create. You notice this one's called form1.vb. That's what they're talking about, is change the form's file name to main form, main space form.vb. Oh, I hate that with a passion. I want to right click on it, and you'll see a rename. And I'm going to call it main form altogether.vb. I never put spaces in there. Rename all of your references. You say yes. Now it's maybe something a little more meaningful. And what do I want? Add 5 radio buttons, 2 labels, and 2 buttons. 5 radio buttons. So go to my toolbox. Radio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 labels, 2 buttons. So 1, 2 buttons. 1, 2. One of the buttons should be an exit button. The other should be a display button. Each radio's button text property should contain the name of the different state. Choose any 5 state names. The display button should display the name of the capital associated with the selected state name. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what I did. Thought I had them all selected. Okay. So put this one up here. I'm going to change the text on it to Kansas. Change this one to Missouri. Change this one to Texas. Change this one to Oklahoma. And change this one to Alaska. Choose my buttons here and then do my resize. There we go. And one needs to be an exit, so I guess I put down here, and I want it to say exit. See, this would be a challenge because I don't remember how to exit in Visual Basic, so I think it's just close, but we'll see. And this one will be show, I think is what it said, more or less. Display button, okay, code button, click event. The other should be a display button, display, not show. Okay, so over here, I want that to say, this one to say capital. Text, there it is, capital. And I want this one to be my answer. So I'm going to call it name under there, LB underscore answer. I want text originally to be blank because I don't want it to say label 1. Now these, I want to give them names. Radio button 1, what is that? So I'm going to call it R button. underscore Kansas. I call this one R button. Maybe RB would be better. RB underscore Missouri. This one I'll change to RB Kansas. This one I'll call it RB Texas. RB Oklahoma. Excuse me. Heck of a day to go off caffeine. Okay, now first let's run this and see what in the world a radio button is. I'm surprised that's already marked, but that's okay. If I click Missouri, see how it unchecks Kansas? I check Texas, unchecks that. As I go through here and check them, you can only have one selected at a time. I said I was surprised that this one's marked originally. There it is, checked. In order to have this, you set it to true, and then it's checked to begin with. Why in the world it was checked when I went into the program, I don't know. It should be. With radio buttons, you always want one selected to begin with. Just good programming practice. Now I'm going to highlight these radio buttons, and I'm going to left align. There we go. Now I want to see how do I check this in my code? I called these RB underscore Kansas. Let me double click display. So how do I do an if statement with the radio button? Well, I do if RB underscore Kansas dot checked. Now this is a Boolean. This is true or false. So I don't put anything else. Then LB underscore answer is going to equal to. Now don't mock me. Don't make fun of me. I might get some of these right. And of course, I need to do a dot text. For Missouri, else if RB underscore Missouri dot checked, then LB underscore answer dot txt text is equal to, I think it's Jefferson City. Like I say, don't make fun of me if I don't know this. Else if RB underscore Texas dot checked, then LB underscore answer dot text is going to equal to Austin, maybe. If it isn't, then it should be. Else if RB underscore Oklahoma dot checked, then LB underscore answer dot text. It should be Oklahoma City if it's not. And if it's none of the above, then it must be the last one. Anchorage, I'm thinking. Probably not right, but it's close to I'm gonna get. So this is how you can check those directly. And the checked is whether it's actually got a little black circle in it. So if I click that and run it, Click Texas, click display, click Austin, click Oklahoma, display, Oklahoma City, Alaska, Anchorage, so forth. This allows you to make it such that it's harder to break your program. When you use some of these special tools, special components that are included with Visual Basic, they're meant to safeguard. There's no way you can screw it up. You're clicking it and then you're clicking your button. There's nothing to input. And that's logged out. I hate you, Mind Tap. Oh well, I'll make up one. But that's how you use the radio buttons. So let me do a closed solution. Create a new project. Want it to be a Windows form. This first one here. Next. Maybe I'm going to give you two options for shipping. You can have a next day or 2-day. That's the only options. Those are radio buttons. So go to Toolbox. Choose radio buttons. Drop 2 of them on there. So this is going to be text. Next day. This will be 2-day. Maybe I want another option over here. Warranty. You can get a 10-day warranty or 30-day warranty. Another radio button. So I'm not giving you a choice. You have to have one or the other. At David Hayes' Emporium, we only provide the best service. Lack of caffeine's getting to me. Okay. I forget what I even said. 10-day warranty. This will be 20-day warranty. Okay, let's run this now. Okay, so next day, I can choose next day, or I can choose 2-day. Come over here. Let's say I want 20-day warranty. Click that. And I took my check off of next day. Yeah, come back there and put it back on. So try 10-day, and it takes it off. It considers them part of the same group. How you can get around that is down here you have containers. There's a group box. I could double click that, drop the group box on there. Move that. This would be shipping. So see where it says group box 1 up there? If I change the text on that. Now what I want to do is I want to highlight or select next day. I'm going to edit, cut, click inside my container here and do a right click and choose edit paste and put next day there. Now I want to check, so let me go ahead and put a true here. There we go. And now this is this one. I'm going to right click on it, choose cut. I wonder if you can just drag and drop it. You can. Sure enough. Okay. Now I need another box to put this in, another container. Where's my container? Group box. This is going to be warranty. And make that bigger and drop them in there. I don't remember that working that way. Okay, choose the box and change group box 2 to warranty. And move that wherever you want. Put it up here. Now, if I run this, you notice I can click the boxes over here. I can click the boxes over here, and they have nothing to do with each other. They're each grouped individually. Other than that, you use the same if statement to check to see if it's checked. Now, there's another we can use an if else on and so forth. That's this checkbox here. Checkbox allows you to check multiple ones. So I got shipping, I got warranty. Maybe this one would be insurance. Maybe this next one would be extended warranty. This last one will be lifetime warranty. I don't know. Lifetime warranty. Nah, that's probably not good because you can't have a lifetime and extend at the same time. Gift wrapped. Okay, now I need to give these appropriate names. This is a checkbox, so C box maybe for the name. C box underscore insurance. This one I'll call C box E warranty. This one I'll call C box gift wrap. Okay, now let's show how to access it in the code. I'm going to have a label here for my amount. And I have a button here that I'm going to program. And I won't put any effort in making this look nice, just because it's just an example. So, double click button. By the way, I didn't name these, did I? It still says radio button 1. RB next day. This one will be called RB today. This one will be 10-day warranty. So TDW. I never be able to remember that. It's better to write it out. RB underscore 10-day warranty. You put underscores in there. Then there's no doubt. You know what in the world it is. And this one will be RB underscore 20-day warranty. Depending upon what they check, I'm going to add certain amounts onto this label 1, which is going to be our price. Okay. So my original amount, I'm going to dim amount as double. And amount's going to equal to 0 initially. Now I'm gonna check if RB underscore um, next day dot checked. Now checked is a Boolean, which means we can leave it that way. Or you could say, is it equal to true? That's equally fine. Nobody does that. If it's Boolean, you just say that right there. That'll check to see if it's true. So they accomplish the same task. So my amount, if I get it next day, I'm going to add $30 onto my amount. Well, if it's not next day, then it's the other option. So amount is going to equal amount plus 20. Now my warranty, I'm going to have an if RB underscore warranty, 10-day warranty, dot checked, then amount is equal to amount plus $20. I'm adding $20 to it. Else, it's a 20-day warranty, and the amount's going to equal to amount plus 40. Now my checkboxes. If CBox warranty dot checked, then amount is equal to amount plus 15. At that point, I don't want to put anything else inside that if statement. I'll have a separate if statement. If CBox gift wrapped dot checked, then amount is equal to amount plus $5. And last one, if CBox what's the last one? E-warrant? No, insurance. That's checked. Then amount is equal to amount plus 50. Now I've calculated amount over and over, so now I'm ready to write it out. LB underscore, is it label? What did I call it? Label 1. LB underscore amount. Come over here. LB underscore amount dot text equals to string of amount. Doesn't like something about string. This class type cannot be used in an expression. Let's try it again. Amount to string. Amount to string. There we go. So now if I run this, if I click the button 1 here, that's next day, which is whatever amount plus 20 day. If I change 10 day, it goes down. If I choose insurance, it goes up. If I choose extended warranty, it goes up more. Choose gift wrapped, it goes up there. So that shows you how you program radio buttons and check boxes. They're if statements where you can check whether it's true or not. Okay. I have to bring the book up again, but I'm going to have the test as usual out there, and I'm going to pick 2 projects out of the back of that chapter to assign. And again, you just go to it, go to the click the book looking icon over on the right hand side once again in Mind Tap. That'll bring up the book, and you can then go to the end of the chapter. If you have any troubles with that, just let me know. We'll go ahead and call it quits there.